morning. I think it's February the 25th. And something popped into my head. I was talking to this lady the other day, and she is a Jehovah's Witness. And she heard on the news or something about them looking for life on Mars. And she just strictly said, I don't know why they looking for life up there. Ain't nothing up there. And I'm like, okay, why you believe that? Oh, because Jehovah said so. Jehovah said so. Then she say, do you know what Jehovah's Witness is? And I say, yes, ma'am, I do. So I asked her this question. I say, so you mean to tell me that all the galaxies, the universes and stuff that's around us, there's nobody else? Nobody else. So you mean to tell me that your God, your messenger, Messiah, whoever the case may be, had the power to make planets, galaxies, us, animals, all that, had the power to make those things and created all these galaxies and planets and all kind of stuff, and there's no one else there. This is my opinion. Some people not gonna like it. Okay, oh well. I welcome controversy on this subject anyway. If your God is that all and powerful, and he just made us on this one little old planet here in the midst of all these universes and galaxies and all the space that is up there, he just made one form of people. Now, we might be the only humans, but we don't even know what we call. They just came up with a name for us. Didn't nobody just tell us what we are and all this and all that. They just came up with something. My opinions, though. Don't quote me. Fact check me. It's just my opinions, as usual. So she said, yes, it is just us. You know what they looking up there for people for, or anything, or any kind of life or anything else anywhere. Now, I've had this conversation with a few people that devoutly believe in God, and I've asked them this one question. I didn't ask this lady this question. I asked them this question. I asked them, if aliens came down to Earth and told us that they created us, we are experiments from them, how would you feel? Now, some of them were stuck on the question, and some of them strictly spouted the fact that in the Bible there says that there will be false gods. I can understand that. Okay. That's your defense. Okay. No problem. I mean, it's an answer, but it's not the answer I wanted to hear. And then again, I don't know what the answer that I wanted to hear, so I guess maybe that'll work. But back to this lady. Now, instead of asking her that question, I asked her this, or I used this scenario. That's like saying, so you mean to tell me there's no one else on this planet, in the other universes, on other worlds, and none of that stuff, all the stuff that your God, Messiah, whatever, created. And we the only people. We the only ones here. There's nobody else out there. There's no aliens, no nothing. If that's the case, that is the same as me having a wife and 2 kids, and I buy a 20 bedroom, 10 bathroom house. I'm gonna let you think about that for a minute. That's the same thing. I'm gonna buy a 20 bedroom house, 10 bathrooms for 4 people. That makes sense? Because to me it don't. 4 people. I could see you getting maybe a 5, maybe 6. But 20 bedrooms for 4 people. No maids, no butlers, no none of that. Just a 20 bedroom house with 10 bathrooms with just 4 people. That's the same thing. Who would do that? I'll wait. Now, when I asked her that question, she looked at me and thought about it. And then the next words that came out of her mouth lets me know that no, wait. And then I told her, I also said, she said, do you believe in the Bible? And I say, yes, ma'am, I do, but there's so many inconsistencies in the Bible. She said, what do you mean inconsistencies? No, there's not. I say, yes, there is. When you grew up, when you was in school, when they was teaching you how to read, one thing that they made sure that you understood was reading with comprehension and understanding. If you can't understand what you're reading, then you ask somebody to break it down and understand it. I have read the Bible, 4 different versions of the Bible. New Testament, Old Testament, King James, all that. I've read them all. And there's a lot of inconsistencies in the Bible. So she insisted that there isn't. And I'm like, okay, I don't believe that. I believe that there are a lot of inconsistencies in the Bible, and it's just not what... I didn't get into the conversation about letting her or stating the fact about this conversation, because I can indulge deep off into this conversation. First off, let's go back to our history when they told us we evolved from apes, monkeys. And not just, when I say we, I don't mean black people. I'm talking about us as a human race. I'm never talking about a specific race unless I state that first. So, the fact that I lost my train of thought. Oh, I can divulge into this conversation a lot because, I mean, it's just a lot of inconsistencies in it. And I mean, that's just what it is. So we evolved from apes millions and millions of years ago. Okay. If that's the case, why are there still monkeys around? That's just one. And now that wasn't in the Bible, but I mean, the history of everything that they've taught us is bullshit. I'm sorry. I do believe in God, a higher power, whatever he or she or it may be. I believe in a higher power, whether it's God, Jesus, Messiah, whatever the case may be. I still believe in a higher power. I don't know who that person is, and I probably won't find out until I die. But that's just one inconsistency. Now, let me tell you another one. If Adam and Eve was the only two people on the planet, and they did what they did and got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, that means that, from my understanding, if they was the only, from reading and comprehension and understanding what I read, from my understanding of what I read, it was just them. They got kicked out the Garden of Eden and they started having kids. Now, for the world to continue and populate, they have to continue to multiply. Their kids have to continue to multiply. Their kids have to continue to multiply. So that means that every single one of us are related to each other. We have all had incest in us to be created to get to the where we are in this world today with the population that we have. If they were the only two, they had sex, had a baby, they had sex again, had another baby. Those babies grew up, they had sex, they had babies. Those babies grew up, those babies had sex. So you cannot tell me that there is no inconsistencies in the Bible. These are just stuff that I have read with understanding and comprehension. But back to this lady. So when I asked her about when I told her about the house thing, the 20 bedrooms for 4 people, she said, okay, we just gonna leave that alone. And I thought that was the best thing for you, because we can divulge into this conversation, and I'm gonna divulge into this conversation with someone, and it's gonna be heated probably. It's gonna be a lot of misinformation, a lot of misunderstanding. But you need to understand something, that when it comes to that conversation, God or Jesus did not write a Bible. Man wrote Bible. Think about that. Then you also need to think about what the Bible consists of. The Bible consists of stories of one person's interpretation of what they saw or witnessed. Okay, that's a fact. To me, in this day and age, in 2021, that's called he say, she say. It's called he say, she say. I'm supposed to believe what you say you saw without seeing it myself in 2021. That's all I'm saying. Those are my thoughts for the morning. Enjoy. Y'all have a nice day. Thank you for liking. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, share, like, spread the word. Going full throttle.